The only reason why I'm recording this right now, honestly, is because I don't have any space on my camera. There's many videos that I have to delete, go through, this, that. You know, some is work related, some is just for fun, but... So literally last night, I watched the Twilight Saga. Is that what you call it? Saga. I watched the Twilight Saga from after the first one. What was it? New Moon, Eclipse, and then Breaking Dawn. So I literally watched 4 movies in a row, and it's been on my mind for like the past year or two to watch Twilight. I was like, I never really watched Twilight. I watched the first one when I was like in high school, and like, nah. Like, that first movie on itself was enough for me. I didn't really have to go exploring more into that. But I said, you know what? If the opportunity comes up, then yeah, definitely. And I was on Freevee, the app, and it said that Twilight was on. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm definitely going to watch Twilight. This is my opportunity. So I tuned into a little bit of New Moon. I didn't see the whole movie, but I saw like the middle to end. Then I saw Eclipse. I think Eclipse was like the turning point for me. And then Breaking Dawn, honestly, I tuned in and out of. It's not that it was boring. It's just that there was like too many filler pieces. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're looking for other vampires. Like, all right. You don't really have to fill me in. So I was tuning in and out to Breaking Dawn, but as a movie, in a way, like, analyst, this is how I would approach the Twilight series. Okay, first I would say, is this a movie based in reality or is this a movie based in fiction? And we already know it's a movie based in fiction. Although she's located in the United States, it's obviously a movie of fiction because there's werewolves and vampires. So that part we have to the side. So this is a fiction-based movie. Then the other part I would have, okay, well, what themes do we see that are reoccurring? I see a theme of family. I see a theme of inclusion. You know, they're in high school. She's in that stage of her life to where she's like part of different groups trying to fit in. She fits in with Edward's family more than anything else. She is drawn to be a vampire. That was very interesting to me. And then when I was tuning into New Moon, I'm like, okay, so like I know that Jacob is a werewolf and all that, but it kind of bothered me how she kept leading him on. I'm like, okay, like, I understand that you're friends and whatnot, but obviously you like him. Everyone knows that Bella liked Jacob. It was very obvious. The whole, like, triangle dynamic kind of irritated me. I felt like that was something that just made the series a little more intriguing, but to me, it really irritated me. I didn't find that appealing at all. Like, oh, she's in love with Jacob, but oh, or no, Edward. But Jacob, like, it was just like, come on, really? I understand things like that happen in real life, but to me, it just was like, not. It gave me kind of cringy vibes. But I understand, like, yeah. Jacob, I like, but I also like Edward. I'm not a team Edward or a team Jacob, how they all did it back then. Like, and like looking back 10, 15 years ago, I'm like, okay, I understand why people were like choosing sides. I literally understand more of it now, and it's because Team Jacob was more earthly. Jacob is a Native American. I mean, he knows the land. If you want to have someone like who will literally, I feel, know who you are as a human being, That's Jacob all the way. Like, Jacob was born a human. He was going to die a human, but yet he was a shapeshifter. So he could shift in and out. That is cool. That to me is really fascinating and really cool. Whereas Edward, he didn't really have that much time as a human being. It's like he remembers just a little bit about it was to be a human because he spent majority of his life as a vampire. So you can't really depend on Edward to make you feel safe as a human. So that's why I like Jacob. But I also like Edward because Edward is wise. Edward's been around. Like, he has so much wisdom. He understands humans based on just interacting with them, but not because he's spent a majority of his life as one. Whereas Jacob, he's more primal. They're both considered, monsters. But I think the reason why as the book depicts them as, they're not really monsters, is because they do have a soul. They do have a heart. So there's very different themes within that movie that I find very insightful. The other theme that I noticed is it's like, how people will have your back, how people will really defend you. There's like a protectiveness, a theme of protection when it comes to Bella, when it comes to all the different people in her life. Her dad protected her in his own. He was a cop. Like, he was literally an investigator. So I noticed that theme of like, okay, he has a legal team. Like, he's the protector of so many different people when it comes to the justice system. Then you have Edward, who's like a protector in many different areas of life. Jacob, another protector. He can transform into a wolf, for goodness sakes. Wolves are so protective and instinctual, so it's like, so I noticed that theme. And yeah, the other thing, what really irritated me though? What really irritated me about that was like how badly Bella wanted to be a vampire. I'm like, why do you want to be a vampire so bad? I understand it's cool. I understand, yeah, you can look hot forever and, be able to like run really fast and have all these gifts and abilities. But I'm like, why does she really want to be a vampire so bad? And even Edward is saying that as well. He's like, I don't want you to, I really want you to think about this and that. And it's like, so I was trying to really see her perspective in this. The only perspective I could get was that she just really believed she was a vampire. It's almost as if she knew her fate. Just like how Jacob already knew his fate with everything with Bella and the lineage. It's almost like this instinct where you don't see it, but you feel it before it even happens. So it's like Bella didn't know everything that it entailed to be a vampire, but she knew that she was a vampire. Jacob didn't know everything that it entailed to be like a part of Bella's life, but he was still a part of Bella's life. Same with it's like fate was literally immersed within all of these different people. And I think that's part of the triangle. Somehow, some way, fate was meant to bring them all together. And I think Bella wanted to be a vampire because like she literally had a destiny to fulfill. Because I was really trying to figure out like, why does she want to be a vampire so bad? Like, it got kind of annoying after a while. But I thought it was very interesting. I don't think I would like watch it again, just, with enthusiasm. Yeah, maybe I'll stumble upon a Twilight movie and I'll tune in now, but like I think I know all I need to know. I could see how the books could be a very intriguing book. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I think Twilight represents many different themes in our lives. It represents fate. It represents taking risks. It represents how we have to really value human life. And who knows, maybe there are other beings out there. Maybe there are werewolves. Maybe there are vampires. We don't know. Maybe we should just live our lives the best that we can. And if there's something that we really feel drawn to, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe it's worth exploring. So, yeah, the Twilight series has many different themes. It was a good watch. I watched New Moon, Eclipse, and the both Breaking Dawn. And I liked how Breaking Dawn ended. At first, I was like, "What the heck?" It upsetted me. It upsetted me at the end. But then when it finally ended, I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, that's good. I like that. So I did think it was a good way to conclude the story. I'll say that. So, and it leaves it up to the imagination still, but so yeah, it's fiction. You know, with fiction, there's way more possibilities. So, yeah, I think any vampire movie and like any mystical movie, like werewolf movie, it's worth watching. So check it out if you haven't already. All right.